listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you Let's Talk with open discussions, hot topics, as well as information. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. This podcast may contain some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome to all my new listeners and all of my day ones. Welcome back to Let's Talk. I am your host, Tony Williams, and welcome to the new year. Now, I know for a lot of people, this probably still feels like 2020 because of the pandemic, but we are trying to move forward. And there's a lot of talk going on about this pandemic, who shot John, and who's to blame, and everything in between. So today we will be talking about who benefits from this pandemic. Now, like I said, there's been a whole lot of talk, and some people say it's population control. Some are saying it's a way to control the citizens. I mean, there's a lot that's been said about the pandemic, but who benefits from this? I mean, is it the pharmacies? Is it the pharmacists? Is it the pharmaceutical company? Is it the doctors, hospitals? Who benefits? Well, that question is continuously hanging over all of our heads. So let's get into who is currently benefiting from it. Because there's a lot of businesses that have had to close. And I feel bad for them because that was their livelihood. That's how they took care of their families. So, who's benefiting now? Let's look at it. We have, the mask makers. We have those who make gloves, those who make the medication, but we also have places like all those professional delivery services. They make good on this. They're not affected and they're doing well. Because, as we know, a lot of businesses had to shut down. So we've got the delivery services. Not too many issues there. And that can range from not just companies that deliver supplies or things you just naturally order from the store, but we've got some who are definitely benefiting now. Like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. They're booming. Because with everyone having to stay home to try to help and stop the spread of the virus, I guess something had to happen, right? So a lot of places like this started offering new delivery services, like for food. And that, was a way for a lot of these fast food chains to still make money. And so you've got them as sort of a third party here. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I got a question. How do you feel about someone you don't know handling your food and bringing it to you? I'm just a little, I don't know. I don't quite like the idea, but for a lot of people it may have been helpful. But these are some of the professional delivery services that are making money, and they're benefiting from the pandemic. Now, we also have game makers. And you know, the kids got to do something. And for everyone else who likes to play games, you know, a lot of people have gotten bored who couldn't go to work and until their companies figured out how to get everybody working at home. Game makers. Because you have so many families looking for something to do to try and stay busy. I mean, you also have like board games and puzzles and all those things. Now, it has been reported that one of the world's largest puzzle makers, Puzzle Warehouse, saw a 2,000% increase in sales. And that was compared to the same time frame back in 2019. That's a lot. I mean, that's an open and shut case when it comes to them. They are definitely benefiting. And I'm pretty sure like places like Hasbro and so many other game makers, they're making a comeback because of the pandemic. Because before then, everyone was pretty much outdoors, busy, and we weren't really playing games. Especially not family games and sitting around the table after dinner and playing board games. Nobody was really doing that before the pandemic. You had some families that kept that as a tradition, but it wasn't as many as it is now. Now you've got the video game makers. They've been very successful during the pandemic. Take, for example, Nintendo. They saw a 41% increase in profits. And they had kind of waned off a little bit. So they're kind of back in business with it being like that. So who else? Well, we have wine and liquor stores because, hey, a lot of people feel you got to be stuck at home with the family 24/7 with the question mark on that of when that's going to end. Yeah, you're going to need a drink to deal. So, and in many areas of the country, wine and liquor stores they have been deemed as essential businesses. And of course, alcohol is not exactly a necessity, but it offered a way, you know, to people so they could kind of chill and deal with a little bit of their stress and anxiety. Because, I mean, for people who went from only seeing their immediate family members in the afternoon or at night after everyone has gotten back home and not having to spend so much time together, they kind of needed a drink to deal and readjust. But they were deemed as essential business, so they're definitely, all the wine and liquor, the spirits stores, they pretty much made a lot of money. They benefited pretty good from this. So we also have home improvement and hardware stores. Dads, uncles, granddads, brothers, they wanted something to do. Even the females who like to get in there and make things, they needed something else to do. Or decided, okay, well, I'm stuck here at the house and I'm seeing what needs to be fixed around the house. So I'm going to go ahead and fix all this stuff I've been putting off, saying I didn't have time for. So they've pretty much been making a profit. So they've seen a 4.21% increase in shares. And that was Home Depot during the pandemic. As a matter of fact, Home and Garden Online, their searches alone has risen by 140%. So home improvement and hardware stores, they're benefiting during the pandemic. Now this next one, this is a touch and go, because for some places they don't have this. But drive-in movie theaters, they have been benefiting. People just want to get out, and if there is a drive-in movie theater, that is social distancing. So they're getting out. And we know movies offers a couple of hours to escape the reality of the pandemic. And while the regular movie theaters, no, a lot of them had to shut down. But they were able to stay open. And that is an escape. Movies are an escape. So I can see how that can be. It's a way to get out and kind of make it safe. So they are benefiting. Now, box subscriptions. They are also benefiting. And there are so many companies out there that offer monthly or quarterly box subscriptions. And that's everything from your beauty products to your coffees, your teas, anything you can pretty much get a subscription for. And a lot of people started getting subscriptions to try to combat the issue with the toilet paper loss and the disinfectants loss, because people were rushing out and buying it in droves. So they're benefiting. Anything you can get a box subscription for, people were getting. So they wouldn't have to go fight it out in the stores over the toilet paper on aisle 12 and causing a ruckus. So they've seen more than a 22% of companies come out and have or provide box subscriptions. So they're doing well. They're benefiting through the pandemic. Now this one is a big one. In-home workout products and services. All the gym heads. I know it was rough. You couldn't go to the gym. And for a lot of people, the gym was an escape. But gyms across the nation had to close when, COVID hit, and it was a major blow. And, of course, it left the fitness buffs without a place to get their sweat on. So they had to do something. So companies, pretty much, let's be honest, they took advantage of that. Okay, they can't come to us. We gonna come to you. So they've came out with so many things. There's one that I saw on a commercial. What was it called? Mirror. It's a home workout system. And then there's so many others that came out. So now you have in-home workout products and services popping up all over the place. And so a lot of people turn to creating home gyms to try to, keep up and stay fit during the crisis. Yoga mats was one. Their sales have gone up. Resistance bands, home gym sets. I think people are going to get home gym sets that have never owned it. Didn't own it before the pandemic. But now they've got it. I mean, I'm talking the treadmills, the bikes. They even have one called Peloton. They're thriving. And they've seen a revenue increase of 66%. And then all these different things they have for these bikes and treadmills, they have memberships that go along with it. So not only are they getting paid off the equipment, but they're also getting paid off memberships that go along with it, where they can sit there and pretty much pretend that they're working out with these people or people across the world. And they're using apps and everything. So they saw an increase of about 30% there. So in-home workout products and services, they're benefiting from the pandemic. Now, we also know during the pandemic, how do you stay healthy? Talking to your doctor, going to the doctor. They came out with telehealth services. So these services allow people to see their doctors from the safety and comfort of their own home, different ways, via computer or smartphone or laptop. And, well, it was kind of a crucial option, especially for those who were definitely at a higher risk of contracting it, who've already had health problems that would, if they caught it, it would spell doom for them. So they came up with the telehealth. And telehealth visits, well, it's increased by at least 50%, and that's throughout the nation. So doctors are still getting paid through telehealth services. So they're benefiting through the pandemic. So what does that say about who's benefiting during this? All these places, they want to make money. So what else do? They provide something that you feel like you have to buy. Now, if they didn't have any of these things going on, you wouldn't buy them. But they do. Therefore, they're surviving and they're benefiting through this. So, my next question, someone asked me this as well. Who else benefits from this pandemic? Does the government benefit? And you think surely our government would not benefit on something like this. Well, the truth is they kind of do benefit from this. They benefit. And I know that's not something you really want to hear, but they do. They benefit in several different ways, as a matter of fact. Because they have contracts with pharmaceutical makers. The government's hands are in everything. There's not much of anything going on that they don't know about, that they don't have their hands in. And please don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise, because if they do, they pissing on your head and they're telling you it's raining. And that's what the hell it is. I mean, and let's look at it. As much as we don't want to believe it, the government is benefiting. Especially authoritarian governments. They benefit. But, I mean, by comparison, governments that are responsive, data-driven, energetic, collaborative, and innovative will have proved themselves to be superior in delivering their societies from the coronavirus and its economic costs. Now, this is supposed to leave government strengthened and enjoying greater public trust in the future. Here's the thing. Them giving out the stimulus, doing the stimulus programs, is that really good or bad? Because that's a huge fight in the government. Who benefits from the stimulus programs? Is it the citizens, or is it the government, or is it the places who sell things that you don't have to go out and get? And that's considered to be our economy right there. So, firstly, the bad news is, as the world dumps money into stimulus programs and the medical sector, there will be endless opportunities for corruption and graft. Now, I was reading something right there, because I wouldn't have said that shit for anything. Because I don't think that stimulus programs are bad. And that came from FP right there. I was reading that from FP, just so y'all know. But there are people in the government who feel that the stimulus programs are bad, that they're wasting money. And that they're wasting money in the medical sector, which is very interesting, which brings me back to that. Who benefits? If you don't want us to spend money in the medical sector, where do you want us to spend money? But on the second hand, it's being said that although the money is being spent there, there will be endless opportunities for corruption and graft. It really makes you think, who is truly benefiting from this? Who is benefiting from the world suffering? And Big Brother is always watching. And you guys know who Big Brother is. So let me go back here. Is it the opportunism and fear of a new pandemic? Are we operating off of fear? Does this change the power in government? Where does the benefit? Where is it? So if you guys know, definitely comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, comment below and let me know where you feel like the government is benefiting and who you think is benefiting. If you're listening to this anywhere else, if you follow me on social media, which I hope you do, get in touch with me. Let me know what you think about this. Who is benefiting? And how do you feel about that? And hell, is it wrong? Because nowadays it's kind of hard to say in a lot of areas what's wrong or right because they're changing things so much. Now, I know because of this pandemic, a lot has to change. How does it change for government and how does that help the citizens? And are they really trying to do population control? Is there a benefit in that? I mean, how does that go for democracies and dictatorships? You guys let me know. Where is the benefit? Where do you think the benefit is? You may give me some insight and I might not have. But there is a lot of benefiting going on here from this pandemic. But it's not the citizens who are benefiting. And in my opinion, that shit is wrong. And you know what? I have another opinion as well. On this pandemic, personally, my opinion is that not enough people were going for the whole research programs, getting paid for research. So my thought is, if you don't have enough people going to do these research for what they're playing with in labs, being willing guinea pigs, what else does the government do besides make a deal and perhaps decide to experiment with the entire world and say, hey, we'll just pay them? That's just my opinion on that. But I think it's a good one. So you guys, thank you for listening and let me know what y'all think. Who benefits from this pandemic? Is it wrong? What do you think?